Hi there. I want to talk about establishing a daily commitment to formal and informal meditation practice throughout this course, and the guide, the daily routine, which, as you read through it, seems like a lot. So really commit to what you can, but really the biggest commitment would be the daily formal practice. And then just the rest of it is just setting intentions to incorporate your formal practice into your day by setting intentions, reminders, and then reflecting at night. And it's always good to do some movement and exercise through your day. So that's kind of it. And then just reflect at night. So look at that. But that daily routine is meant to fall in line for all the foundation steps 1 through 10. So that's good. But the biggest thing is the commitment to yourself. Okay? There's no more important thing to commit in your life than to yourself and your well-being. That being said, I also want to say, I know trauma is a big word. And stress is a big word. And as human beings, we all have some level of it. And I just share my trauma and my challenges. And I know there's people out there who can relate, because that's part of my purpose for writing this and putting this course together, and why I survived something I shouldn't have, and got stage 4 cancer. So I do want to say this. I was a practicing mindfulness and mindfulness-based stress reduction person going into the attack. And when I survived it, I credited my mindfulness practice and my active lifestyle and agility and my strengths that I discovered in the years leading up from that prison cell when I started meditating, to utilize in that moment of just horrifics to heroics. And so when I started writing the book and coming up with this daily routine, I thought the same way in mental health, we want to be trauma sensitive and give choices and options. And in my years of the mindfulness practice, it has evolved as into recognizing that people have trauma, and sometimes it's very difficult to sit with it. But I can share from my experience that avoiding, things come back stronger, and we really can't avoid. Because things are implanted, and memories are there, and stuff stored in our body, so they're going to come up. And so I committed that, kind of like jumping in the pool. Yeah, let's be caring, loving, and kind and sensitive to myself, but at the same time I have to challenge myself. So I put my feet in the cold water, and then I jump right in, cannonball. And this is where the trauma sensitive tips come in, like if you feel overwhelmed, adjust your positions, your posture, do a walking meditation, open up your eyes, find something to focus on, and anchor in that, and then close your eyes and let yourself go back over and over and sit with things. And we'll learn this as we go, but shorten the time of the meditations. So there's things we can do. I do want to say this. I told myself if I didn't sit with these intrusive thoughts and memories of the attack and my pain now, beginning, like during the attack, after the attack, I wouldn't have progressed and transitioned my life and moved through it. And so I want to share a timeline. The daily commitment is the biggest part. Because the more I sat with things and build mindfulness skills, the less intrusive they came over time. And the short timeline lets you know that nothing is a quick fix, especially life. It's a process. It's a journey to be cool to yourself. So the first 6 months of meditating daily after the attack and getting the diagnosis of cancer I was bombarded. I was living in them, intrusive thoughts, vivid thoughts, pain, all of it. And I would just do my trauma sensitive tips, like maybe open my eyes, adjust, do a slow walk, but always come back to the eyes closed because I wanted to be with this stuff. That was 6 months of daily practice. 6 months to a year, guess what? Those thoughts and the triggers I had from my environment and living life, they were there, definitely there, but they weren't so intrusive. They'd like pop curtain in the front and they'd pop to the front stage throughout the day. But the more I committed to my practice and taking care of myself, the less they came. And then from a year to 2 years is when these thoughts started kind of just staying in the back. And after 2 years, it was kind of like, hey, I live life with the majority of my thoughts not even reliving the trauma. And when the trauma does come back in those certain occasions when I'm triggered or startled, it's easy to just like move on, acknowledge it, say thank you, and move on. So commit to yourself, commit to the daily routine. And really it's just meditate in the morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you can commit the time to yourself. Remember, this is for yourself. And commit to at least 20 minutes of formal practice. Set an intention. Journal after that. Bring your intention and your formal practice into your life throughout the day and afternoon. Always do some kind of exercise of movement for yourself, whatever you can. And the word is I can. And practice mindfulness into that. And then at night, do a short meditation or a reflection, or eventually you'll learn yoga and things like that, and just reflect on the questions that I have in the guide for a while. And then come up with your own questions to reflect on how you did on your intention on that day. So remember, the most important thing is committing to yourself. It really is. And it's the best gift you can give yourself, and committing to formal meditation practice and these foundation steps. Remember, taking each foundation step 1 week at a time to 1 month at a time. And I'll leave it with that. And I care about you, and I'm so glad you're listening and absorbing. And I'm so fortunate and blessed I can share this information on my foundation steps with you.